God bless everyone. Kasy Hart here. And if you already have not done so, please remember to subscribe, hit the like button, and comment below. So today's message is prepare. We've come a long way. Thank God for that. We've come a long way. But I know I'm not the only one that sees the news. But on seeing the news, I also hear God saying we need to prepare even further. So I will say the Bible verse and I'll say what the Lord is telling me to say. And yes, it's always the same one the Lord brings up to me, which is Luke 21:36, and I'm going to read it. But stay awake at all times, praying that you may have strength to escape all these things that are going to take place and to stand before the Son of Man. Amen. All right, so I hope that this message is going to be very quick, and I'm just going to try to quickly recap a few things and get to the message. So as I would say everyone knows by now, we have seen a lot going on. First it was the virus, and yes, I think it's still around. Then it was all the stuff, school closing, businesses. Then it was riots. Yes, started off as protests and then ended up with riots. But what I see out of all this, though, is the changes that they're enforcing. All the monuments and statues that they're bringing down. And my understanding, the riots was all about race, being racist. But when they bring down or relocate in Boston Abraham Lincoln, I gotta thank God I still know some of my history. Abraham Lincoln was the first person who freed the slaves. He fought for it. I mean, the Emancipation Proclamation. So this is just more, and this is what I'm saying that God is showing me. This is deeper. It's going deeper. Anything that they want to take down or defund, as they're saying, they're going to try to take it down or erase it. So if anyone hasn't already seen in New York, they have defunded $1 billion from the police force. So I guess that means it's less work for them, which I guess is good. But then who is going to answer the calls for domestic violence? Who is going to answer the calls when someone is alcoholic? And sorry for that. That's my pet. My dog. Got two of them. Poodles. So this is what I'm trying to say. Who is going to be answering those calls? Who is there to defend them? But that's just in New York right now. And we've all heard about everything else. Minneapolis, the takeover in Seattle, which was, as it was said, what was it? A summer love fest in Seattle? That was no love fest. But to the message. To all pastors, God bless you. To all leaders, to all missionaries, to all that God is telling you this right now, which I'm going to share. Then I pray that if I'm sharing, it's just a confirmation for you. And if you have not heard this from the Lord yet, then I would say then yes, go pray on it and ask the Lord to confirm it. But I've been hearing the Lord, and yes, I even had the dreams. God speaks to me through dreams. And one of them was that technology is not going to last long. So we've all noticed, if anyone has noticed, that on Facebook things have been taken down if it doesn't approve to their standards. And YouTube is probably in the same predicament of, if not so, maybe later on. So if at this point, I thought we all had freedom of speech, or did we? Wait a minute, I think we lost that in the beginning when everybody was locked out, right? Couldn't assemble, not even in church. But so freedom of speech is not freedom of speech anymore if you can't post whatever you want and it gets deleted. But anything else that is offensive, they'll leave it up. Go figure? No, it's not go figure. It's they are managing what they want to manage. So if they're managing that now, what do you think comes next? So back to the dream. God did say that church on Facebook and all the technology medias is not going to be for long. They are going to target it. Don't know. Could be this year, next year. But then again, when the Lord sends warnings, then it's for us to prepare. So technology is not going to be for long on media. So for those places that are sharing on Bibles, studies, the service on Facebook, for now, I guess you're okay. But once the writers, from wherever they're at, which I know all the details, but I'm not going to go into it. Whoever they're funded with, I know who they're funded by. But when the Bible starts offending them, yes, people, persecution started already when they closed the church doors. So, and I know some people might say, oh, but we were still online. But all I kept on hearing in the beginning when all this started was the Lord just saying and repeating Hebrews 10:25. And everybody I know has mentioned Romans 13. But I guess they weren't looking where all this was heading. You closed the churches. Now you have minimal capacities available. If not, whatever. Then after that, we all see what's happening. They're trying to erase history. Again, I do remember some of my history. And I rebuke it in the name of Jesus, but let's see. What did Hitler do? Maybe you should look it up before they take it out of the Google or something. Because I know it. It started with, was it defunding their police? So, one of the things that happened in Hitler's age, besides the horrible Holocaust, was the burning of books. So, of course, the other thing is that the Lord is saying, because of the technology, whenever it is, it's going to be challenged, or any Christian word is going to be deleted, God is saying it's time to start cell groups. Hey, let me be the one to say, whatever it is, peak or no peak, and virus this and virus that, yes, there is something. It's just a bigger strand of the flu. But the fear that people exhibit when they start coughing or something, that makes it even worse. All right. But now they're saying a second wave, so are the churches going to close again? The Lord is saying it's time to begin the cell groups. To all pastors, it's time to begin the cell groups. It's time. And as I was saying about the books, for anyone who has that calling on missionaries, evangelists, I would say mostly missionaries, but anyone, it's time to order many Bibles and start stashing them away. Again, don't know, but this is what I've been hearing from the Lord. And I just need to share the word, because if not, I'm going to be disobedient when the Lord is saying to speak. Yes, I don't have many people on Facebook at this point, and I don't have a lot of subscribers yet. Again, if you're one of them, please subscribe. But even if one, because the Lord did say He'll leave the 99 to go to the one, go get the one, right? Even if that one that listens to this is the one that is needed to share it, to make it viral, to do what needs to be done. All I'm saying, it's time. Cell groups need to begin. The limited amount of people in the church, that's sad. I personally say it's sad, because ever since I've known, the church is for everyone. Everyone, sick or not. When there was cancer, were they allowed to go in? When all this about AIDS happened, was anybody checking at the doors? What about hepatitis C? Was anybody checking people's eyes? Let me see. TB. I know there's TB active and TB not active, right? So when it's active, it's worse, right? So is anybody checking TB at the door? I mean, back then. What about a regular flu? A little sniffles? Was anybody stopped at the door and said, you can't come in because you got the sniffles? Or you can't come into church because you got the flu? Ebola flu, bird flu. Remember those? So this is what I'm saying. The Lord, I just hear so. This is not right. It is not right. So if the government has control over the church, then I don't know where all this about separation between state and church was all about. I don't know what that was all about then. But hey, then start the cell groups. It is sad that some of the members would not be able to go to church because, whatever capacity. That would be sad. And before anyone asks me, and I will say, have I returned? No, I have not. I just feel that the church should be for everyone. I mean, the brokenhearted, correct? It's to go to get healed, correct? So why would anybody be turned back? Because of a cough. Or I don't know what else they're doing in the churches at the doors. So for me, I just feel very bad they closed in the first place. But I'm thankful to the Lord that I've kept connection. I've kept my prayer, my praise in my womb. And yes, He's been saying and He's been speaking. It's not over. We need to, all the churches, all the pastors, all the leaders, need to start cell groups. Technology is not going to last long. And yes, for anyone who has that calling, it's time to stack up on the Bible. Because if anyone doesn't know, there is, anything bothers them, correct? It was started all about racism. But when it comes down to taking down Abraham Lincoln, then it's not about racism anymore. They even, Winston Churchill, was it? That was taken down. So, and of course we see so many people apologizing for, I don't know what. It's sad, people apologizing because they're white. But I just put on my Google the word master. And so far, according to this, the word master is in three books. According to this line here. One of the words they don't like is the word master. So are we going to start editing the Bible? Remember that verse? We should not take out or put into the Bible. So is whoever it is actually going to change the Bible to take out the word master because it offends somebody? Okay, that was it. The Lord is saying, and I repeat, technology is not going to last long. Everything is offending the writers. Started off about racism, but what can I say? It's more than that. It's deeper than that. It's to erase history. So anyone who actually journals, it's time to journal. Anyone who actually wants to do their own video, it's time to video and just write down your own history that you remember, because when history is erased, who's going to tell our grandchildren and future generation? So God bless everyone. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't take too long. But please remember to subscribe and share. And God bless.